Wonderful.
Give me a gist about the Valentine.
Well, I was doing my own Valentine in the house of God,
Okay.
sharing love
All
with
right.
fellow Valentine people.
Okay. Well, we thank God and we appreciate Him for life and giving us the privilege to see this beautiful moment. Of course, we will always give glory to the Lord forever. Well, it's another night on Love Matters, on marriage and relationship matters. Why is love leading to mother? Why is love leading to mother? Should we separate husband and wife when we begin to discover that something is going wrong between them? Should we have a separation between them? Eunice, why is love leading to mother?
Well, like Igbo people will say the world is turning round and round. A lot of things are happening. And there's a lot of anger. And the system is not making it any better. There's a lot of frustration because of some of the laws that are on ground, even some of the interpretation of the Bible, some of the interpretation of marriage in the church, which I believe they'll take another look. Because in a situation where a couple, they're married, they've made the mistake of not shining their eyes before they get into it, and you now tell them that they cannot separate except on the ground of death or on the ground of fornication. If they're forced to stay together, one person will snap one day. There must be an avenue to save yourself from that situation, which eventually will be separation. Well, I know that in the church they will say, okay, you can separate for a while, so that maybe sanity will come together. But I believe the moment you separate for a while, you have separated forever. Because if it's not worth coming back to, I don't think after that separation you will return. And it still makes it worse, because when you go beyond that, the one that is separated from a situation of marriage, and you now tell the person you cannot marry again because you're divorced. All those things bring the cycle in man. And you can never tell what the person will do at the next minute. Maybe the animalistic aspect of the man will just show. When I use the word man, I mean both women and man. So I think the system is one of the problems we have. But yes. And that system brings about frustration. You have a person feeling as if he or she is trapped in a situation and he keeps looking for how to get out. In that system too, you don't know if it's a spouse that decided that he wants to look on the other side and the other person is dying of jealousy, doesn't know what to do. You can imagine somebody that is jealous, green-eyed. You can kill. You can slaughter. Built-in anger can also bring such. So, and lack of understanding of what marriage is all about too. Because if you build yourself around the person, it's like you're locking yourself into that person.
So how can you know how can you know the right person to build your love around? Because if you look at what is happening these days, most marriages are ending in divorce and separation.
You know, when we want to use our local slang, we'll say you should shine your eyes properly. You need to, in the course of courtship, you need to find out who you are dealing with, who you're courting, who you're ready to spend the whole of your life with. You need to understand that person before you jump. And when you find traces, your mind is not at peace. Don't go saying, okay, I will change him.
But some people pretend.
That's the thing. I keep saying that pretense doesn't stay forever. You must drop mistakes while you are pretending. Your real self will come out. No matter how smart you are, your real self. And somebody that is discerning and that is sensitive will pick it. Except you are blinded by love, then you will not know. Somebody will certainly drop something for you to know that this person is not me. And women, we have this instinct about people. We catch on. But we don't listen to ourselves sometimes, and we just, because I want to marry, you know. Somebody said something to me today, said, I went somewhere and everybody had a job, I didn't have a job. It's just like marriage. Everybody's married and I'm not married, I'm not happy. Forgetting that these are individuals. Fingers are not equal. Their timing is not your timing. You don't know the kind of person you are. Maybe you're not cut out to be a white-collar person, or you're not cut out to be married in the first place. People don't understand that, but because Julia is married, Janet must be married. So because of that, they take the wrong step and say, I want to marry by all means. But have they woken up to ask themselves, what am I going to get inside this marriage? What is it all about? Why am I getting married? Is it just to answer Mrs. or to have
or to rear children,
and the rest? That is some of the things that make people jump and make mistakes. And by the time they wake up in the morning and look at the monster they have married, they pick up a knife or a scissors and start stabbing away. Forgetting that once you do that, you have signed yourself out of circulation. You are going to, not just going to hell, you are going to hell in prison.
So when you begin to notice that your spouse is imposing attraction, is it advisable to separate both of them, or?
It is very important to separate both of them. Let's use the example of the recent one that went viral. She stabbed him the first time. He went to the hospital. I will not return because the heat is still on. I won't return back to that same place. That night. It is returning back to the house. And from what I read, the landlord offered him a room. And he said no, that he understands his wife, that everything is fine. And that was his end. That was just the end. He should have given time for temper to cool off before going back, no matter the amount of love that is blinding you. We have to be realistic in doing things. Somebody that is angry enough to stab you the first time is still having anger inside. It's not gone. It's not gone. The same thing that had made her or him angry is still inside there. It's not resolved. The best thing is to step out of the kitchen, let the heat not burn you. But in this case, he went with it. So I advise, stay away for some time. Then from the outside you can resolve.
But once you, a little devil is equally a big devil. You understand? And then if it happened once, it can always happen again.
Yes.
So what do you think in such a situation?
I will not think for another person, but if I find myself in such situation, it is bye-bye.
What if the man or the woman changes?
If it changes, fine. Let me tell you, it is difficult to change totally. It is the grace of God that removes that from you. By yourself,
the monster in you
will still, the child of the monster will still be there. You don't know a person until a situation arises.
Definitely.
You do not. You cannot say for sure that your spouse is an angel. But when a situation that will bring the real color of that spouse comes out, the person will react and you will see the real person. So never say, I know him, I trust him. It's because a situation has not arisen. Situation might be both good and bad, negative and positive.
Okay, what of if the husband indulges in infidelity and the wife eventually gets to know about it? Would you suggest separation?
No.
For such marriage?
No.
So what would you
The
suggest?
first thing is, we women, we jump at things, we are proactive. Once they find out, they go crazy. That's not it. Ask yourself why the man went out in the first place. We know that some men are promiscuous. They are just polygamous. They can't keep to themselves. They can't keep to one woman. First ask yourself, what have I done wrong that is making this man?
Or if you have not done anything wrong,
you check yourself.
In infidelity.
Then you sit the man down and ask him exactly what the problem is. That's the first step.
Okay.
If you think you cannot continue, your heart will not allow you to continue to stay with the man. Step away. because it means you can never be happy inside that
Okay,
relationship.
let me take it this way. The husband indulges in infidelity, and then he comes home, he wants to sleep with the woman. Would you advise the woman to open a tie for this sick man?
I will not advise the woman to open her tie.
So what do you think? There will be friction.
There will be. It has to be resolved. And if it's a woman, some women accept. They accept to stay. They accept to sleep with a man. But if you're going to sleep with a man, you better have a pack of condom by the side. And that might make the man stop.
Most of these men want to go natural.
You refuse because you don't want to die yet. There's a story I heard about a very prominent man, and I was wondering why they were looking funny. And somebody said they have issues of AIDS. But they have money, they are hiding it. I'm sure when the young girl went to marry the man, she didn't know that she was going to contact that.
But in such a situation, what do you think?
She's
it was
taking her
founded
option.
on deception.
Yes. Yes.
So don't you think the lady should
The lady,
pack her bags and get out of
she
that
won't want
house?
to pack her bag and get out. One, they're both in the situation, and the man has money, so she can be enjoying the money and taking treatment. That is till death do us part.
That's a terrible one.
Very terrible one. It happens. A lot of these things happen. That's
Okay.
why both men and women should be careful.
Let's put the lines on. You are out there. Of course, you had Valentine yesterday. How did you spend your Valentine? Was it spent on the bed of adultery or fornication?
Or leaking.
Yeah, if you want to share some experience with us, we are on tonight, and then we are willing to receive your comments and then your advice. Or if you want to ask us questions, well, you're free. Why don't you put a call through? The number to dial is 0129111031, 0129111031, or 0129344335, 0129344335. I'll call the numbers again. 0129111031, 0129111031, or 0129344335, 0129344335. Should love continue even when mother is staring at your face? Should you continue to love even when mother is staring at your face? Eunice.
Some school of thought will say you should continue to strive that the guy will change.
But according to tradition, and according to the biblical concept, is till death do us part. Whatsoever you see in marriage, you take it that way. We have a caller. Oh, we lost that call. So should it be like that? Like our parents used to say, the house of your husband is a learning institution.
Learning to death. We know, yes, it's a learning institution. Like a proverb from my place will say that marriage is a set of package. Every stage you keep unwrapping different, aspect of the marriage, and you keep learning. So, but I don't think if you know you're going to die, you made the mistake of marrying the wrong person, I don't think you should remain in the marriage, because the scripture says you should. Because I'm sure if there's a spiritual interpretation, there will be room for that kind of thing. I'd rather leave the marriage